In our series on food safety, we've looked at a number of situations involving different types of food and at various points in the food flow. Now let's put it all together. Let's take a single food item, chicken, and follow it through from the receiving area all the way to service. A lot can happen along the way, both good and bad. I'm Christina Schell, and here in our family-owned restaurant, we analyze the hazards associated with each point in the food flow and take action to prevent bacterial growth and contamination. We do this for each type of food, something I want you to do now for the chicken. When we're finished, you should be able to name the various points in the food flow. Then, for each point, you should identify the biological hazards that are of concern and specify the food safety procedures and critical limits necessary to prevent bacterial growth or contamination. Let's take a look.
Hi, I'm Mitch.
Adam.
Running behind today, huh?
What's that?
We're expecting you around 11.
Well, you guys were just added to my schedule. The way they had me routed, I was over on the north side and then I had to come back around. Anyway, I got lost for a bit. But I found you.
Are these the chicken breasts?
Yeah, 20 chicken breast fillets.
Looks like the ice here is melted off the top layer.
Oh, you still got plenty down below. They're fine.
I'm going to check with Chef.
Sure.
Well, how come the ice here is melted?
I suppose because of the last stop on my run. You know, the door gets open so many times, and it was right near the door.
When did you leave your facility?
Around 9. Didn't they call and say I'd be late?
Yeah, but you're only a mile or two away from us. No discoloration. Mitch, get these in the walk-in right away.
All right.
I don't see why they can't make us the first stop on your run.
You want me to bring it up with them?
No, I'll do it. There you go.
Thanks. You bet.
Okay, when that group comes in, everybody stop what you're doing and we'll get the luncheon taken care of.
Okay.
Right. Tonight, Dowling, that's the wedding rehearsal dinner, 40 people. We got the chicken breast fillets, chicken Marcello, remember from last time? Trim them, remove the skin, roll in the stuffing.
Yeah, how about I show Carla how to prep the chicken, and then I'll get started on the stuffing.
That sounds good. But when I give the word, put it away. We'll have plenty of time after lunch.
Oh, there, let's just use some of these, okay? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. All right, put the rest of these back in the walk-in and we'll get started. Trim the excess fat off. Like so, but you've worked with a knife before, so you know how to use this, right?
Yep, I got it.
All right. And then I'll just get started with the stuffing. Thank you.
Okay, the group is here now. You know what to do.
I'll put this away.
All right, when you come back, we'll get started on the salad veggies.
Okay.
Okay, Carlo, the rush is over. You and Mitch can get back to that chicken.
All right, Chef. Chef says he wants us to get back to the chicken.
All right, can you take the chicken out of the walk-in?
Yeah, sure.
Hey, you guys made good time. Yeah. It's too early to cook them. Let's put them back in the walk-in and we'll take them out in about 45 minutes.
Okay.
Perfect. How are they doing out there?
Well, they're trying to seat everybody, but now they're starting to take pictures, so the host made it clear not to rush it.
All right. Let's go ahead and use the hot holding unit. The vegetables are already in there. Add these with the rest. Put plastic wrap over the top and get them in there as quick as you can.
North on the lake. It's pretty nice.
Down
Did you
there.
have good weather?
It was nice first couple of days. Sunday was really bad. I had to come back Sunday.
And away you go.
So what did you do this weekend?
All right, the chicken Marcello is on its way out to the Dowling wedding party. Let's review the food flow for chicken. Name the various points in the food flow. Then, for each point, identify the biological hazards that are of concern and specify the food safety procedures and critical limits necessary to prevent bacterial growth or contamination.
It looks like the ice here is melted off the top layer.
Oh, you still got plenty down below. They're fine.
I'm going to have to check with Chef.
Sure.
The first point in the food flow is receiving. The hazard in relation to chicken is bacterial contamination and growth. In this instance, the primary concern is Salmonella and Campylobacter. This bacteria might already be present in the food when you receive it. To limit contamination and bacterial growth in my establishment, several standard operating procedures are in place. The supplier must be reputable. The delivery must meet specifications, such things as weight, how many, and fat content. The raw chicken must be packed in crushed, self-draining ice. There must be no discoloration. And in the case of chicken, it must be firm and elastic to the touch. The chicken must be received at 40 degrees Fahrenheit or less. Finally, check for the required government inspection stamp. Mitch used good judgment in calling in his supervisor. Both Mitch and the chef did a good visual inspection of the delivery, but neither took the temperature of the chicken on delivery. And they accepted delivery even though the ice had melted. There is no way of knowing if the chicken was exposed to temperatures above 40 degrees Fahrenheit. Therefore, in this case, the delivery should have been rejected.
You bet.
The next point in the food flow is storage. The hazards are the same: bacterial contamination and growth. What preventive measures and controls should be in place? The chicken must be stored at an internal temperature of 40 degrees Fahrenheit or lower. Use the FIFO method of stock rotation, first in, first out, and prevent cross-contamination by storing each food item properly. In the case of chicken, it belongs on the bottom shelf, not in a convenient open space somewhere in the middle.
Well, there, let's just use some of these, okay?
The next step in the food flow is preparation. The hazards, again, bacterial contamination and growth. But now there are some additional biological hazards to consider. There is the possibility of staph or viral contamination, especially from contact by food prep personnel. What preventive measures and controls should be in place? Batch cooking, or in this case batch prep, taking out only enough food product that can be prepared in a short time. Preparing the chicken in batches was in practice here, using cleaned and sanitized utensils and cutting boards. You may have noticed that both Mitch and Carla failed to properly clean and sanitize their knives and cutting boards when they switched from preparing chicken to prepping the salad bar, a clear opportunity for cross-contamination. Proper personal hygiene, especially hand washing before prep, just as Mitch did before prepping the salad bar. Minimize the time spent in the temperature danger zone. The chef used good judgment when he had the stuffed chicken put back in the walk-in. Our next point is cooking, and here the hazard is bacterial survival. Cooking is the best chance we have to eliminate bacteria that might be in the food. That's why cooking is a critical control point as the chicken flows through your establishment. What controls should be in place? An internal product temperature of 165 degrees Fahrenheit for at least 15 seconds. To be sure, the internal temperature of the chicken must be measured by a properly calibrated, cleaned and sanitized food thermometer or thermocouple. Proper personal hygiene. And prevention of cross-contamination by using cleaned and sanitized knives, cutting boards, and utensils. Just as when the food was delivered, the chef did not take the temperature of the chicken at the end of the cooking cycle. He is relying on the way the chicken feels and looks and cannot be sure if it has reached the proper temperature for chicken, 165 degrees Fahrenheit. The next point is holding. Once again, we're concerned with bacterial contamination and growth. Chicken must be held at 140 degrees or above. Proper personal hygiene must be followed, especially hand washing. And to prevent cross-contamination, use cleaned and sanitized utensils and containers. In our example with chicken Marcello, Carla quickly covered and stored the chicken, but she layered them in the pan. Some were actually 3 deep. The 140-degree air inside the holding unit may not reach the chicken breasts underneath. Individual portions should be placed in a single layer so that the holding unit can keep each chicken breast at the proper temperature, 140 degrees Fahrenheit. The last step in the food flow was service. Once again, the hazard is bacterial survival and contamination. And what are the preventive measures and controls? Proper personal hygiene, cleaned and sanitized utensils and dishware, prevention of other forms of cross-contamination, especially from contact with any raw food. In this example, the cooks and the server were careful to not touch the food. Plates were picked up by the edge, and any possibility of contamination, either from an employee or another food product, was kept to a minimum.
So, some good things, but some serious oversights. The fact is, the chef Carla and Mitch cannot be sure that the chicken was received at the proper temperature, that it didn't contaminate anything else, that it wasn't contaminated itself, and that it was cooked and held to the proper temperature. Any one of these issues presents a potential hazard to the health of customers and employees. Careful analysis of the food flow in your facility with procedures in place to prevent bacterial growth and contamination will decrease or eliminate the hazards, making your operation a safe and healthy one.